Welcome to All About Richmond. I'm Tony Chevalier, and this is our very first segment of All About Richmond. And we have some very important information to share with you today, and I am pleased to welcome Brian Walmsley, who is the superintendent of the Richmond Community School System. Brian, you've got something really big going on next Tuesday. What can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. We have an election coming up next Tuesday where we're asking the voters to approve a $38.71 million bond. It's a pivotal point in our district. The bond has several key areas that we want to focus on, from facility upgrades to safety enhancements to athletic improvements, as well as the learning environment that our students are exposed to each and every day.
Okay, so you touched a little bit on, you've got this broken down into four major categories, and one of those is facility updates. So what's going to be going on with some of the facilities in the district?
Absolutely. We have a growing population in Richmond. For the last 2 years, our budget that we budgeted for, our student enrollment has grown, which is a good problem. More people are choosing Richmond, more people are choosing to move into Richmond. So we're actually running out of space. In the elementary school, one of the facility enhancements is an increase in the square footage of the building. There's 3 additions that we're planning, or about 10 classrooms that we would add on to the elementary school. If you recall, we moved our 4th grade to the middle school because we've literally run out of space. So this would allow us to accommodate the growth of it and so forth. At the middle school, we would renovate some existing areas, not increase the square footage, but maximize the space within it to allow for different additional classrooms. High school, we'd be adding on to the high school with an auxiliary gym, as well as renovating some interior spaces for that classroom, for that growth that we're experiencing in the district.
Okay, and one of the other categories of the millage was going to be for student safety. Now, none of us can overemphasize the need to keep our students safe anymore in the world that we live in. So what's some of the enhancements that you're looking at doing when this bond passes to enhance the safety of the students?
From the last bond in the 2013, we began the process of student enhancements. We put door security systems in, camera systems in. But one of the major features in this one is the redesign of the middle school entranceway. Of our 3 buildings, the middle school does not have a secure vestibule. So though we have a buzzer system and we have cameras, there is a blind spot for the office staff to see people walking in. So we want to improve that to force people into the middle school office. Improving fire alarm systems. We currently have 2 different systems throughout the buildings, and they don't communicate to each other. They're working, they're for the safety of kids, they're functional, but to reset them and so forth, we can do much better. Improving clock systems in all the buildings, as well as the PA systems. Much of the wiring is the original wiring. The high school was built in the 50s. Over time, that wiring starts to deteriorate, and with the various renovations that have happened over the years, we need to replace that system.
Okay.
So that's primarily the student safety. Is the biggest chunk of the budget is for that middle school office redesign.
Okay, makes sense. And then you're talking about improving the learning environment as well. So what goes on there?
This is the bread and butter of our district. It's about providing a learning environment for kids. And what I'm most excited about is we started the process. We have outstanding technology in all of our classrooms. We have a one-to-one technology initiative. When you purchase a laptop over time, that laptop becomes obsolete. So part of the bond would be replacing our laptops that we currently have. But it would create learning environments. For instance, we are one of only 86 districts that has a K-12 robotics program. So one of the things that in this bond is to create the first in the state of a K-12 basically academy of robotics. So one wing at the high school where we can put all of our robotics program. That program has grown. In fact, this year we have 2 teams at the middle school because the numbers of kids participating is growing. And that really is where a lot of our future lies, is in that mathematics, robotics field, and automation. We talked about increasing the classroom square footage with the additions, but we would then be putting a STEAM program, which is science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, which we started in district 2 years ago, putting that in the elementary school as well as in the middle school to create the infrastructure. We have the programs, but the infrastructure is not there. and just upgrading every single classroom so that the kids are in a learning environment that's flexible for what the needs are for today's students.
Okay, great. And then just briefly, there's you're doing something with sports facilities too?
Yeah, when we started looking at analysis of the district, our sports facilities have not been upgraded since really 1996.
Okay.
So we would be installing synthetic turf on the football/soccer field. That reduces some of our maintenance costs as well as injuries. Fencing, dugouts, obviously the auxiliary gym is also part of the instruction as well as sports. So it's only it's a small percentage of the total bond. It's about less than 10% of the total bond.
Okay. Okay, so next Tuesday we need people to go out to their normal polling places in whatever township or city they live in. If they're in the Richmond School District, they can vote next Tuesday on the 5th. Do you have any closing thoughts?
One of the things I'd like to say is this is an investment for the community into the bond, and I really encourage people to go to our website, look at the bond application, see what we budget for. It lists every project that we have going for us. This is a benefit for the taxpayers in this community. It's an investment in not only the school system but also their property values. And so there's a calculator on the website that explains, if you put your personal stuff in, what the impact of the bond is. You know, we say it's about an average of $145. For most people, it's less than that.
Okay.
So I really encourage people to go use that calculator, see what the impact is on their own personal situation.
And that calculator's on the school's website?
It's on the school's website, 2019 bond information.
Brian, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time
No problem.
and getting some news out to the community about the millage and the Richmond school system.
Thank you very much for having me.